and I crash and I break down. Your words in my head, knives in my heart. You build me up and then I fall apart. I'm only human.
I am now here with Christina Perri. Thank you again.
Of course, thank you.
Welcome back to Kansas City. It was like a year ago you performed here, and
yeah.
Now you're back.
I am back. You have a fancy new background.
We have a new backdrop for you now,
I noticed.
the KC skyline.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a lot on your plate in the next couple months. I'm going to be going on tour. Tell me all about it.
Well, okay, my album comes out on April 1st, so I've been doing promotion since the single came out in November. So all of December, all of January, now we're in February, still more promo. And I've been doing promo in America and all over the world, Europe and stuff. And so, which is really normal. I'm just setting this thing up. And then the album comes out and I am gone. I am on tour for 2 whole years after that album drops. So I'm trying to just enjoy every single minute of it, really.
So your second album, Head or Heart, they say, you put a lot into it. One of your favorites there.
My favorite out of the two.
For sure. Why is that?
For so many reasons. I think I shouldn't compare them because they are like my children, but I do know that album one I recorded in 33 days. I had songs from 15 to 23, and no one was listening, and there were all these things that were different about it that to album two. Album two I spent 1 year making. I wrote for 6 months. I made sure I picked my favorite 13 songs. I fought for them, and then I recorded them all with a couple different people. I was challenging myself, and I was growing just dramatically in a short amount of time, because I toured for 27 months and I just learned so much about myself. And so sonically it's bigger and better, I think. Lyrically, the writing is next level for me. I feel like I captured more dynamics when it comes to love and relationships, and I actually have songs for the first time about relationships with myself, because I realized at 27 maybe it's not always their fault. And so there's just all new stuff, and not to mention it's fun to play new things. So I feel very emotionally connected to this album, and that makes it even scarier, which makes it even more fun.
Now, I know you said you've taken some risks then with this album. Is it being yourself, or how is that with this album? Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely me. I started playing this little game called Yes, and I decided to do that in January of 2013 when I started writing for this record. And I said, you know what? If I say no to things that normally I'd say no to, I'm going to make exactly the same record. I'm going to make Love Strong all over again with a band in a room, one guy, like, cool, I've done that. And so I wanted to challenge myself in every possible way, because I didn't have a release date. There was no pressure. Everyone's like tripping out about this second album thing. I wasn't. I was like, if I just tell the truth, then what am I really afraid of? And so then I proposed this question about which do you trust, your head or your heart, because that's where I'm at in my life. It's so funny. Everyone's like, what does it all mean? I'm like, I don't know. Can you tell me? Like, I don't know. This album is, I've never been caught up with something before so much. Like, it's how I feel right now. I keep kind of going down the wrong road and realizing that I don't have the answer. And so all this stuff is happening while I'm writing the album, which is really convenient, actually. And when it came to some challenges, musically, like using programming and things that I was normally like, so if I wasn't sure, I said yes. If it made me nauseous, I said no. So I had to trust my gut the whole time making the album, but I really, really did that, because that's why I'm proud of myself, and that's why I think some of the songs are so much better than I could have even imagined them to be, because I didn't think of some of it,
And the new single, Human, you all about love songs in that regards, but this one's kind of a different approach, right?
Yeah, Human is a song I wrote about a relationship with myself. It's about self-forgiveness, it's about trying again, it's about just having an exhale and starting over.
and you worked, I've seen the video, you know, we talked about it just briefly, but you had a lot of fun with that, and you even got to work with somebody that you're very close and do a lot of the music videos with, right?
Yeah, this guy, Elliot Sellers, he was my first choice. He always is. I mean, it helps when you have a really good friendship or relationship with the director because you feel even more comfortable. And so I remember I came to Elliot and said, I have an idea, because that's normally how all my music videos start. And it's normally a wacky idea, like I think it was 6,500 candles for 1,000 years. That was not a good idea. The fire alarm went off the whole day. We had the firefighters there. It was awful. It was like a sauna. No one would know, but I'm like sweating profusely during that music video. Arms, I was like flying and drowning, and you know, it was a bad idea. You know, it's cool later, but like the day of, it's unpleasant for no one but me. And so with Human, I was like, you know, I want to kind of go literally, what would be the opposite of me physically? Because I wanted to appear non-human in the beginning, but not like Terminator style. I wanted to do that part subtly. That was his idea with the CGI. And I was like, but all I can think of is the opposite of me would be a girl with no tattoos, you know? And so that's where we started, and then the video starts really dark and cold in tone, and then it warms up, and then all the tattoos come back, and it's like, you know, me just being me.
And it's a cool story how they eliminated the tattoos, because you have like over 70 tattoos.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we're like, she's got no tattoos
I know,
in the
you know
video,
what's
and then
funny?
she's back.
Some people don't even notice till they come back. I tricked so many people. They were like, something, oh my gosh, you know, because it's like, I don't know, it just looks so, I even was distracted by it. I couldn't, at one point I got used to it. I was like, oh yeah, hey, I just don't have any tattoos. And then we washed it all off, and I was really glad when we did. I felt really uncomfortable by the end of the day. I just didn't feel like me. You know, I felt even more naked without them. It was bizarre.
But you obviously you liked yourself with the tattoos then,
yes,
right?
I liked myself. Isn't that cool?
That's good.
I figured it out that day.
Going on tour in April.
Yeah.
You're going to be all over the place. You know, what's your favorite thing about being back on tour then?
Oh man, there's so many favorite parts, because you know, there's a process to this I'm learning now that it's my second time. You have the writing, which is so fulfilling for an artist, or for a writer, I should say. Very unencumbered. It's just like that moment of creativity. It's very fulfilling. But then you go in the studio and you recreate that, and that's a whole nother process, and that's really wonderful and great. And then, like, it just wouldn't feel right without that third part. And now that I've finished these songs and I've painted my painting, it's like now I give them all to you, or to the audience. And I don't know, it feels like something's missing till I start doing that, you know? Like, I feel like I'm in this in-between stage, and so I can't wait for the album to come out. I can't wait to tour. I love my band so much, even like a little too much. Like, we really do hang out on days off. We go to museums and stuff because we're not very cool. And we just have fun, you know? I can't even tell you, it's not stressful. It's just like, we try to have the best time ever because it's a dream job. It really, really is. So touring always reminds me of that.
That's good. I know you get a lot of inspiration from Dean Martin to the Beatles. Do you still kind of feel like, you know, even in this second album, that's what you can kind of hear that sound a little bit? Or
oh, totally.
Always?
Yeah. Well, you know what? The cohesive thread, because I do have so many new sonic things in album 2 that just feel a little bit bigger. The thing that really marries the whole album is my voice and my melodies, which I write, you know, myself. And so that's not going to be a leap, you know, and it's not a complete, like, I didn't want to stay the same, and I didn't want to change too much, and I think I landed somewhere right in the middle. So all the people that inspire me definitely still inspire me on album 2, and I think you can hear probably all my influences on this album.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I go back into Jar of Hearts. They say you wrote it in your pajamas. Anything in album 2? Did you write anything in your pajamas?
I sure did.
Did you? That's good then.
Yeah, I definitely did. I wrote, oh my gosh. But you know what? I don't have a method. I wish I knew, like, you know, oh yeah, I always write at a piano at, you know, 6 p.m. on a Saturday. Like, no. It's like I wrote some of the album on tour, I wrote some of it when I was off, I wrote some of it in a writing session where I was supposed to write a song, you know, but sometimes it just doesn't come, and then you just kind of write, you know, a crappy song, and that's okay. Like, if people get discouraged, but if you don't get them out of the way, then sometimes you don't get the really good stuff. And So the writing process was insane, and it was such a roller coaster, because in my personal life I had a roller coaster. So, you know, it worked out, and I'm glad we're on to the next process.
That's good.
I'll say that.
I know you're very active in social media. Your Instagram nonstop for you.
Yeah.
Is that another way for you can connect to your fans?
Oh my gosh, if it might even be number one. I mean, I feel like, especially when I was, you know, down kind of under wraps making this album, I took everyone with me. So I didn't feel like I disappeared. You know, people were saying like, she's back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize, you know, that's right. But because I was so vocal with everyone, and everyone was vocal with me, and I mean, with the hashtag album too, and it was like, you know, and then they invented Instagram video the day I started recording my album. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. So I was sneak peeking all the songs to everybody, just because I can, you know,
That's right.
And it's so cool, and I don't have anyone else controlling that for me, and I think that's why, you know, the fans definitely feel so connected to me, because it's seriously me. Like, I did a Twitter Q&A yesterday on my flight. I had 45 minutes. I was like, go, you know, and it's just like how we talk. And then it's why, you know, it's even more magical when I see them in the audience, because they feel like they know me, and I feel like I know them.
Well, we did the same thing. We wanted to find out, you know, the Twitter questions.
Oh, gosh.
So this is what they had to ask. How do you drink your coffee then?
Black.
Black, just plain black.
Yeah, no sugar, no milk.
Because you're coffee over the tea then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I go through phases.
Okay.
I go through tea phases, and I will soon. When tour starts, it's back to tea for me.
Back to tea straight.
Yep.
Another question, you know, you're dog over cats. Do you have a specific kind of dog that you're a big fan of?
Yes, I love the French Bulldogs and the Pugs.
Really?
They're my two favorite dogs.
Do you have a...
I have a Pug and a French Bulldog.
So you got them both in, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Christina Perri, thank you again so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
New album out April, on tour in April. It's going to be
Yep.
a busy month of April for you. But thanks again for stopping into Kansas City.
Thank you.